Hey friend, I'm glad you're here. You made it. The day is finally over. And I know it was long. Maybe your shoulders are still tight. Maybe your mind is still spinning through conversations, through lists, through worries you can't quite name. That's okay. You don't have to figure any of it out right now. Tonight, we're letting it all go. Together. Slowly. Gently. So let your body settle into your bed. Feel the mattress underneath you. Feel how it holds your weight without effort. And take one slow breath with me. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Let it be a long exhale. Like you're releasing something you've been carrying all day. Good. That's all you have to do. Just breathe. And listen. Tonight, we're going on a journey together. A quiet journey into one of the most comforting passages in all of Scripture. Psalm 91. This psalm has been called the Soldier's Psalm, the Traveler's Prayer, the Believer's Refuge. For thousands of years, people just like you have whispered these words in dark rooms, have clung to these promises when fear pressed in, have fallen asleep wrapped in the shelter of these truths. And tonight, you get to do the same. We're going to move slowly. There's no rush here. We'll linger in the imagery. We'll repeat the phrases that matter most. Because repetition is how truth settles into tired bones. You don't have to stay awake for all of it. In fact, I hope you don't. I hope somewhere along the way your breathing slows. Your thoughts quiet. And you drift into the kind of rest your body has been craving. Let's begin with the very first verse. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Read that again with me in your mind. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Do you hear what that's offering you? A secret place. A hidden refuge. Somewhere the chaos of the world cannot follow. And you're not just visiting. You're dwelling there. You're making your home there. You're settling in. Like you're settling into your bed right now. Let that word wash over you. Dwell. It means to stay. To remain. To make yourself at home. You're not rushing through. You're not passing by on your way to something else. You're staying. And God? He's welcoming you to stay. Imagine with me for a moment. Picture a hidden place in the mountains. A small shelter carved into rock. You've been walking all day. Your legs are tired. The wind has been cold against your face. And then you see it. An opening. A doorway. A place the storm cannot reach. You step inside. And immediately, the wind goes quiet. The temperature shifts. Warmer now. Protected. You exhale. Your shoulders drop. You didn't even realize how tense you were. Until you weren't anymore. This is the secret place. This is what God offers you. Not just protection, but presence. A place where you are known, where you are welcomed, where you belong. Take another breath. Let it be slow. In through your nose. Feel your chest rise. And then let it fall as you breathe out. With each exhale, you're stepping further into that secret place. Further away from the noise of today. Further into the quiet. The secret place of the Most High. That phrase matters. The Most High. Above every worry that hovered over you today. Above every fear that whispered in your ear. Above every problem that felt unsolvable. God is higher. God is above. And His secret place, it's not far away. It's not hard to find. It's as close as your next breath. You access it by turning your attention to Him. Just like you're doing right now. You're already there. Did you know that? Just by lying here. Just by listening. Just by choosing to rest in His presence instead of scrolling. Instead of worrying. Instead of rehearsing tomorrow's problems. You chose the secret place. And that matters. The verse says, "You shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." Abide. There's that word again. Stay. Remain. Don't rush off. And where do you abide? Under His shadow. Think about what a shadow means. For there to be a shadow, something has to be close. Very close. You're not standing at a distance from God. You're so close that His shadow falls over you. That's how near He is. Close enough to shade you from the heat. Close enough to block what would overwhelm you. close enough that you can feel His presence. And He's the Almighty. El Shaddai in Hebrew. The All-Sufficient One. The one who is more than enough. More than enough strength for your weakness. More than enough peace for your anxiety. More than enough grace for your failures. This is who shadows you. This is who hovers over you as you sleep. Let those words settle. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. You are in the secret place. Right now. In this moment. In your bed. In the dark. And His shadow is over you, protecting, covering, sheltering. Your body can let go now because you're safe. Feel your neck soften. Let your head sink deeper into your pillow. There's nothing to hold up anymore. Nothing to carry. Your jaw can unclench. Let your teeth part slightly. Let your tongue rest heavy in your mouth. Your shoulders. They've been working hard today. Let them drop. Lower. Even lower. You're in the secret place. Nothing can reach you here. Nothing needs your attention. Nothing requires your strength. Just rest. The secret place is not a physical location. It's a posture of the heart. It's a turning toward God. A leaning into His presence. And you're doing it right now. You're dwelling. You're abiding. This is prayer, you know. This lying here. This listening. This resting in His truth. You don't have to say anything eloquent. You don't have to form perfect sentences. Your presence is enough. Just like His presence is enough for you. He who dwells in the secret place. That's you. Tonight. That's who you are. You're the one who chose to dwell. You're the one who stepped out of the noise. You're the one who said yes to rest. And because you're dwelling there, you shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. It's a promise. Not a maybe. Not if you're good enough. Not if you did everything right today. You shall abide. You will be covered. Breathe in that promise. Slowly. Deeply. Let it fill your lungs. And breathe out any remaining tension. any lingering doubt, any fear that tried to follow you into this place. The secret place is yours. God carved it out for you. He reserved it. He prepared it. And He's waiting there for you. Every single night. You never have to earn your way in. The door is always open. The welcome is always warm. The shelter is always ready. All you have to do is come. And tonight you came. So rest now. Rest in the secret place. Rest under His shadow. Rest in the presence of the Most High. You're safe. You're held. You're home. And the journey is just beginning. There's more comfort waiting. More truths to wrap around you like a blanket. More promises to carry you deeper into rest. For now, just be here. In the secret place. Dwelling. Abiding. Safe. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. That's you. Right now. Covered. Protected. Loved. Let your eyes grow heavy. Let your thoughts slow down. Let your body sink deeper into rest. The secret place holds you. The Almighty shadows you. And nothing can pluck you from His hand. Rest now. Dwell. Abide. Sleep. You found it. That secret place. That hidden refuge with God. And now something beautiful begins to happen. As you dwell there, as you remain, as you simply stay, you become aware of a covering. A shadow falls gently over you. Not a dark shadow, not a frightening shadow, but the most comforting shadow you've ever known. The shadow of the Almighty. Psalm 91 says, "You abide under the shadow of the Almighty." Under. That word is important. You're not beside the shadow. You're not near the shadow. You're under it. Completely covered. Completely overshadowed. Completely safe. Think about what a shadow means. A shadow only exists because something larger stands between you and the sun. Something bigger. Something stronger. Something protective. God Himself stands between you and the heat of life. He blocks what would burn you. He shields what would overwhelm you. He covers what would exhaust you. And all you feel is the cool relief of His shadow. Let that image settle over you now. Imagine the hottest part of the day. The sun beating down. The ground shimmering with heat. Every living thing seeking shade. And you find it. Not under a tree that might sway. Not under a tent that might tear. But under the shadow of the Almighty. The one whose shadow never shifts. The one whose covering never fails. The one whose protection never ends. Your body knows what shade feels like. That moment when you step out of burning sun into cool relief. The way your shoulders drop. The way your eyes stop squinting. The way your whole being exhales. That's what's happening right now. You're stepping deeper into God's shadow. And your whole being can exhale. Let it happen. Let your shoulders drop a little more. Let your face soften. Let your jaw unclench. You're in the shade now. You don't have to strain anymore. The shadow of the Almighty. Say that slowly in your mind. The shadow of the Almighty. This isn't the shadow of just anyone. This is the Almighty. El Shaddai. The all-sufficient one. The God for whom nothing is too hard. His shadow is big enough for every worry you carry. His shadow is wide enough for every fear you hold. His shadow is deep enough for every burden you brought to bed tonight. All of it fits under His covering. All of you fits under His care. And here's something tender about a shadow. To be in someone's shadow means you're close to them. Very close. A shadow doesn't stretch far from its source. So when you're under God's shadow, you're near to God's heart. When you're covered by His presence, you're close to His love. You're not far away tonight. You're not distant. You're not forgotten. You're so close that His shadow falls directly over you. Breathe that in. A slow breath. Filling your lungs with the cool air of His presence. And breathe out, letting go of any remaining heat, any burning worries, any scorching thoughts. His shadow absorbs them all. His covering handles them all. You just rest. In ancient times, travelers knew the importance of shadow. In the desert, shade meant survival. Finding shelter from the sun wasn't luxury. It was necessity. And God knew this when He inspired these words. He knew you'd need shelter. not just from physical sun, but from the heat of life itself. The heat of pressure. The heat of expectations. The heat of uncertainty. The heat of trying so hard to hold everything together. All of that heat. And God provides shadow. You don't have to stand in the sun anymore tonight. You don't have to keep enduring the heat. You don't have to prove you can take it. You can step into the shade. You can let yourself be covered. You can stop striving and start resting. The Almighty's shadow is big enough. His shadow is always big enough. Notice how your body responds to this truth. Maybe your breathing has slowed even more. Maybe your limbs feel heavier against the bed. Maybe thoughts that were racing have begun to quiet. This is what happens in the shadow. This is what happens when you're covered. Your whole system begins to trust. Because you're safe here. You're protected here. You're overshadowed by the one who loves you most. Under his shadow, you don't have to watch your back. He's watching. Under his shadow, you don't have to stay alert. He's alert. Under his shadow, you don't have to be strong. He's strong. All you have to do is stay. Abide. Remain. Rest. The shadow of the Almighty moves with him. And he never moves away from you. Which means his shadow is always available, always present, always enough. Tomorrow the sun may feel hot again. Life may feel demanding again. The heat may press in from every side. But even then, the shadow will be there. Even then, you can step back under. Even then, you'll find relief in his presence. For now, though, you're here, resting in the cool, resting in the shade, resting in the shadow of the Almighty. Let your body sink a little deeper. Let the mattress hold more of your weight. Let the covering of God's presence wrap more fully around you. You're not just in a bed tonight. You're in a shadow. A divine shadow. A protecting shadow. A shadow that means the Almighty stands over you. Some shadows feel lonely. This one doesn't. Some shadows feel cold. This one is perfect warmth. Some shadows feel frightening. This one is pure peace. Because of who casts it. Because of who stands between you and harm. Because of who loves you enough to cover you this completely. The Almighty, your protector, your refuge. your shade. And in his shadow, you find rest. Real rest. Deep rest. The kind of rest your soul has been craving. Not the restless sleep of unresolved worry. Not the half sleep of lingering stress. But true rest. Covered rest. Shadow rest. Under the shadow of the Almighty. That's where you are right now. Under the shadow of the Almighty. That's where you can stay all night. Under the shadow of the Almighty. That's your identity and your home. As you continue drifting, as your eyelids grow heavier, as sleep begins to wash over you like gentle waves, know that the shadow doesn't lift. When you sleep, it covers. When you dream, it guards. When you rest, it remains. The shadow of the Almighty is your covering through every moment of this night. And there's even more comfort waiting for you in Psalm 91. Because David doesn't stop with shadow. He gives us another image, an even more tender image. The image of wings. Under his wings, feathers that cover. A refuge so close, so intimate, so safe. But for now, settle here. In the shadow. Let the shade do its work. Let the covering hold you. Let the Almighty overshadow every worry, every fear, every spinning thought. You're in the right place. You're in the safe place. You're in the shadow of the Almighty. And that's exactly where you're meant to be. And so you rest here, under the shadow, completely covered. That shade you found, that cool relief from the heat of life, it's still here, still holding you. And now, something beautiful happens. You get to speak. Not because you have to. Not because God needs to hear it. But because your heart needs to say it. Listen to the second verse of Psalm 91. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. Say, those three words matter so much. The psalmist isn't just thinking these truths, isn't just hoping they're real, isn't just wishing things were different. The psalmist is saying them out loud, on purpose, with intention, and tonight. You get to do the same thing. Not with your voice necessarily. You're drifting towards sleep. Your body is growing heavy. But somewhere inside you, in that quiet place of your heart, you can whisper these words. You can let them form slowly, like prayers without pressure, like truth settling into tired bones. He is my refuge. What a word. Refuge. A refuge is a place you run to. A place that receives you. A place that was made for your arrival. Think about that for just a moment as you lie here, breathing slowly, letting your body sink deeper into rest. God isn't just a refuge that happens to be available. He is your refuge. The word "my" changes everything. There's a difference between knowing a shelter exists and running into your shelter. The one with your name on it. The one that was prepared for you. He is my refuge. Can you feel that word? My. Personal. Intimate. Each task. You're not borrowing someone else's safety. You're not hoping there's room for you. You're not sneaking into a shelter meant for someone more deserving. He is your refuge. The door was already open. He was already waiting. He knew you'd need exactly this. Exactly tonight. Let those words form inside you now. He is my refuge. He is my refuge. My refuge. And then the verse continues, adding another layer, another picture, and my fortress. A refuge is a place you run to. A fortress is a place that stands against whatever is chasing you, against whatever threatens you, against whatever kept you awake with worry. A fortress has walls, thick walls, strong walls, walls that were built to last. And God says, I am that for you. Not just a quiet hiding place, but a strong place. A defended place. A place where nothing unwanted can enter. Think about a fortress for a moment. Picture ancient stone walls, rising high, impossibly thick, built to withstand anything. Guards stationed at every corner. Gates that close and lock. Towers watching the horizon. And you. safe inside. That's what God is for you tonight. Whatever thoughts were attacking your peace, whatever fears were circling your mind, whatever worries kept trying to break through, they crash against the fortress walls, and they cannot get in. He is my fortress. By fortress. Personal. Strong. Yours. Let that truth settle deeper now. As your breathing continues to slow, as your muscles continue to release, you're not outside the walls hoping to get in. You're already inside, already protected, already defended, already safe. And now the verse comes to its beautiful conclusion. My God, in whom I trust. My God. Not a distant deity, not a vague higher power, not someone else's God that you're borrowing for the night. My God, the creator of the universe, billions of galaxies spinning at his word, and he is yours. Personally yours, in whom I trust. Trust is such a quiet thing, such a restful thing. Trust doesn't strain. Trust doesn't fight. Trust just leans. Think about trust for a moment. When you trust a chair, you don't hover above it nervously. You sit. You let it hold you. You forget it's even there. When you trust a bridge, you don't inch across fearfully. You walk. You drive. You don't give it a second thought. When you trust a person, you don't guard yourself constantly. You rest in their presence. You breathe easier when they're near. And when you trust God, when you really trust Him, sleep comes easier. Your body relaxes deeper. Your thoughts stop spinning quite so fast. In whom I trust. Not. In whom I'm trying to trust. Not. In whom I hope I can trust someday. Not. In whom I trust when everything's going well. Just. In whom I trust. Simple. Present. Real. Let's put the whole verse together now. And let it wash over you like a wave of peace. Slowly. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in whom I trust. Let those words circle back again, softer this time. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. And once more, almost a whisper now, He is my refuge, my fortress, my God. I trust Him tonight. You don't have to solve anything. You don't have to figure out tomorrow. You don't have to plan the next step. You don't have to carry the weight that's been pressing on you. You just have to say these words. Somewhere in your heart, He is my refuge. When anxiety tries to creep back in, when your mind starts wandering toward worries, when sleep feels far away, just return to these words. He is my refuge. He is my fortress. He is my God, and I trust Him. Your body is heavy now, wonderfully heavy, sinking into safety. Your thoughts are slowing, softening at the edges, less sharp, less demanding. And these truths keep surrounding you. He is your refuge, the place you run to, the place that receives you, the place that was waiting. He is your fortress. The walls that protect, the strength that defends, the place nothing can breach. He is your God. Personal, present, yours. And you trust Him. You're not alone tonight. You're held. You're covered. You're safe in the refuge, protected by the fortress, loved by the God who calls you His own. Let those words become the rhythm of your rest. He is my refuge. He is my fortress, my God. I trust. And as you rest in this trust, something else waits to comfort you. Something tender. Something protective. Something that will carry you even deeper. The image of wings. God's wings covering you, sheltering you. But that's for a little later. For now, just rest here in the refuge. I, the fortress, in the arms of your God, He is my refuge. He is my fortress. My God, in whom I trust. You've been speaking truth in the quiet, whispering those sacred words. My refuge, my fortress, my God. And now something shifts. Something tender. Something so gentle it almost takes your breath away. Because the psalm doesn't stay with fortresses and walls. It doesn't leave you standing at castle gates. No. It brings you closer. Much closer. Listen to what comes next. He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. Feathers, wings. Can you feel how the language changes? How it softens? We've been talking about refuge, about fortresses, strong words, military words almost, words of stone and safety. But here the psalm gives us something different. Feathers. Not cold stone walls. Not iron gates. Feathers. Soft, warm, alive. This is the heart of God for you tonight. Not just protection from a distance, but covering. Close covering. Tender covering. Think about what this image means. A mother bird doesn't protect her chicks from across the field. She doesn't stand guard 10 feet away. No. She gathers them. She pulls them close. She opens her wings. And she covers them completely. The chicks disappear under those feathers. You couldn't see them if you tried. They're hidden, enveloped, surrounded on every side by warmth and softness. That's the image. That's what God is saying to you right now. I'm not just your fortress out there somewhere. I'm covering you. Here. Now. With feathers. With wings. Feel that for a moment. Your body is heavy against the mattress. And over you. Around you. There's a covering. Not a blanket. Well, yes, maybe there's a blanket. But something more. Something invisible but real. The covering of God's presence. His feathers over you. Think about feathers for a moment. what they're actually like. Each one is a small miracle. Lightweight but strong. Flexible but protective. Designed to keep warmth in and cold out. And they're soft. So impossibly soft. Have you ever touched a feather? Really felt one? The way it gives under your finger, the way it seems to respond to your touch. That's what's covering you. God's protection isn't harsh or rigid. It's not uncomfortable. It's feathers. It's gentle. It's tender. It moves with you. When you shift in the night, the feathers shift too. When you roll onto your side, the covering adjusts. When you breathe deep, the wings expand. You're not held rigidly in place. You're covered. Softly. Gently. Tenderly. He will cover you with his feathers. Notice that word. Cover. Not just shield. Not just protect. Cover. There's an intimacy to that word. You cover something precious. You cover something you love. You cover something you're trying to keep safe and warm and close. That's what God is doing right now. Covering you. Think about a chick under its mother's wing. What does the chick have to do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The chick doesn't have to earn the covering. The chick doesn't have to maintain the covering. The chick doesn't have to be strong enough to deserve the covering. The chick just rests there. Small, weak, dependent, and completely, utterly safe. That's you tonight. You don't have to be strong right now. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to figure out tomorrow's problems. You don't have to earn your place under those wings. You just rest there. Small, dependent, safe. Under his wings, you will find refuge. That's what the psalm says. Under his wings, you will find refuge. Refuge. There's that word again. We talked about it before. A safe place. A shelter. Somewhere you belong. But notice where the refuge is found. Under his wings. Not next to him. Not behind him. Under. Under his wings. This is close. This is intimate. This is as near as a mother bird and her chick can be. When you're under someone's wings, you can feel their heartbeat. You can sense their warmth. You can hear every breath they take. That close. That's how close God is right now. If you listen, really listen. Can you sense it? The nearness? The warmth. You're not alone in this bed. You're not alone in this room. You're not alone in this night. You're under his wings, covered with his feathers. Let that image settle over you now, like a second blanket, like warmth spreading from your chest outward, like safety soaking into your bones. Picture it if you can. Wings extended, feathers layered one over another, warmth beneath, shelter from everything outside, and you there, nestled, hidden, held. The wind can blow. You don't feel it. The rain can fall. You stay dry. The cold can bite. You remain warm because you're covered. Covered with his feathers. Jesus used this image once. He stood looking over Jerusalem, the city he loved, the people who would reject him. And he said something so tender. How often I wanted to gather you, as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings. That's his heart. That's always been his heart. To gather. To cover. To protect with feathered wings. And tonight, you're gathered. You said yes. You came to this quiet place. You let yourself be still. And now you're under his wings, gathered, covered, safe. Feel the weight of your body again. The heaviness in your limbs. The softness of where you're resting. And over all of it, wings. You're sinking deeper now. That's good. That's right. That's what happens when you're covered. The chicks under a mother's wing don't stay alert. They don't keep watch. They don't worry about predators or storms. They sleep. Deeply. Peacefully. Completely. Because someone else is watching. Someone else is covering. Someone else has taken responsibility for their safety. That's true for you. God is watching. God is covering. God has taken responsibility for your safety tonight. You can sleep like a chick under its mother's wing, unworried, unafraid, unconcerned, because you're covered. He will cover you with his feathers. Say that in your heart one more time. He will cover me with his feathers. Feel how personal that is? Not just covered in general, covered with his feathers. Covered by him. This isn't a cosmic blanket thrown over the universe. This is God's personal covering over you. Your body, your heart, your mind, your dreams. It's all covered, all protected, all held under feathered wings. And under his wings I find refuge. That's your truth tonight. Not just the psalmist's truth. Your truth. You found refuge. You're in it right now. Under his wings. Let that settle. Let it become as real as the pillow under your head. As real as the breath in your lungs. You're covered. With feathers. With warmth. With God himself. The world outside keeps spinning. There are problems out there. Challenges. Uncertainties. But under the wings, peace. Under the feathers, rest. That's where you are. That's where you stay. All through this night. Covered. If worries try to reach you, the feathers catch them first. If fears try to find you, the wings block their path. If anxiety tries to wake you, the covering holds firm. You don't have to fight. You don't have to defend yourself. You're covered. The psalmist knew this. That's why he wrote it down. He'd experienced it. Night after night. The covering of God's presence. And now you're experiencing it too. He will cover you with his feathers. He is covering you right now. This moment. Not will someday. Is covering. Present tense. Happening now. Feel it happening. Your eyelids growing heavier. That's the covering. Your thoughts growing slower. That's the feathers. Your body growing more relaxed. That's the wings. God is actively covering you. With every breath you take. with every moment that passes, covering you with feathers, with wings, with himself. And this covering does something more. Something we haven't talked about yet. The psalm says, "His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart." Faithfulness. That's what holds the feathers in place. That's what keeps the wings extended. God's faithfulness. He doesn't cover you one night and abandon you the next. He doesn't protect you when he feels like it. His covering is faithful, constant, reliable, unchanging. Night after night after night, the same feathers, the same wings, the same faithful covering. You can trust this. You can rest in this. You can sleep in this. Because God is faithful. And his faithfulness is covering you right now. So rest. Let your breathing slow even more. Let your thoughts drift wherever they want to go. You're safe. You're covered. You're under his wings. The feathers are so soft around you. The warmth is so complete. The covering is so total. Nothing can reach you here. Nothing can harm you here. Nothing can disturb your rest here. Under his wings. Covered with his feathers. This is where you belong tonight. This is where you were always meant to be. Close to God. Hidden in God. Covered by God. Safe. So very safe. And as you rest here, covered and warm, something in you can finally let go. The last bit of tension you didn't know you were holding. Release it now. It has nowhere to go anyway. It can't survive under these wings. Let it dissolve into the warmth. Let the feathers absorb it. Let the covering take it away. You're held. You're safe. You're covered. And you will be. All through this night. Until morning light finds you. Under his wings. Covered with his feathers. Resting in his faithfulness. Hidden under those feathers. Covered by those wings. That's where you are right now. And from this place of safety, we can talk about something important. The night. Not just the darkness outside your window, but the fears that sometimes come with it. Psalm 91 doesn't ignore those fears. It doesn't pretend they don't exist. Instead, it speaks directly to them. Verse 5 says this: "You shall not fear the terror by night." Let those words settle over you like another layer of covering. You shall not fear the terror by night. Notice what this verse does. It acknowledges that terror exists. That nighttime can bring fears. That darkness sometimes carries weight. But then it gives you something stronger than the fear. Permission to not be afraid. This isn't a command to never feel fear. It's a promise that fear doesn't have to rule you. That terror doesn't get the final word. Because you're under His wings. Because you're hidden in the secret place. Because the shadow of the Almighty covers you completely. Fear might knock at the door, but it doesn't have a key. Think about what keeps people awake at night. Worries about tomorrow. Regrets from yesterday. Anxious thoughts that seem louder when the lights go out. The psalmist knew about these things. Thousands of years ago, people lay awake with the same kind of fears. And God spoke this promise then. And He speaks it now. You shall not fear the terror by night. Let's slow down even more with this. The word terror. It's a strong word. It means something sudden. Something that comes without warning. Something that grips the heart. Maybe for you, terror isn't a dramatic word. Maybe it's just the low hum of anxiety. The what-ifs that multiply in the quiet. Or maybe some nights, it really does feel like terror. Racing thoughts. Pounding heart. That sudden jolt of fear that pulls you from the edge of sleep. Whatever form it takes. God's word meets you there. You shall not fear. Notice it doesn't say you shall not encounter fearful things. It doesn't say life will be without threats. It doesn't promise that nothing scary will ever happen. It says you don't have to be controlled by fear. You don't have to be owned by it. You don't have to bow to it. Because something stronger holds you. Someone stronger covers you. Remember those feathers from the last chapter. Soft, warm, surrounding you completely. When a baby bird is hidden under its mother's wings, what happens outside doesn't disappear. Storms might still blow. Predators might still circle. The night might still be dark. But the chick doesn't fear. Because it's hidden. 'Cause it's covered. because between it and everything else stands a protective presence. That's where you are right now. Whatever fears try to creep into this quiet moment, they have to get through those wings first. They have to pass the Almighty. And they can't. The verse continues beyond the terror by night. It mentions the arrow that flies by day, the pestilence that stalks in darkness, the destruction that wastes at noonday. God covers all the hours. Night terrors. Covered. Daytime attacks. Covered. The things that creep unseen. Covered. The things that strike in plain sight. Covered. There is no hour when His protection lifts. There is no moment when the wings fold back. There is no time when you're left exposed. But tonight, we're focused on the night. Because that's where you are now. In the quiet hours. In the darkness. When the world is still and thoughts can grow loud. And God says, you don't have to fear here. Right here. In this bed. In this moment. In the dark of this very night. You don't have to fear. Sometimes fear comes because we feel alone. The night can magnify that loneliness. Everyone else is asleep. The house is quiet. And it's just you and your thoughts. But you're not alone. The one who made the night is with you in it. Psalm 139 tells us that even darkness is not dark to God. The night shines like the day to Him. Darkness and light are the same. So while the night might limit what you can see, it doesn't limit Him. He sees you clearly. He watches over you perfectly. His vision doesn't dim when the sun goes down. You shall not fear the terror by night, because the one watching over you never sleeps, because His eyes pierce the darkness, because nothing can hide from Him, including whatever you're afraid of. Let that sink in for a moment. Whatever keeps you awake. Whatever makes your mind race. Whatever fear has been circling the edges of your thoughts tonight, God sees it. And more than that, He's bigger than it. It might loom large in your imagination. It might feel overwhelming in the quiet. But compared to Him, it's small. So small. This is what it means to be under His wings. Not that fears disappear completely, but that they lose their power. Not that the night becomes bright, but that darkness doesn't threaten you. Not that nothing scary exists, but that you don't have to bow to scary things. You shall not fear. Say that softly to yourself, or just let it echo in your mind. I shall not fear. I don't have to fear. Fear doesn't own me. I'm under His wings. Sometimes fears need to be named before they can be released, not analyzed, not solved, just acknowledged and handed over. So if something specific has been troubling you, you can let it surface now. Don't wrestle with it. Just notice it. And then, gently, imagine sliding it out from under the covers and letting it rest at the foot of God's throne. You don't have to carry it into sleep. You don't have to figure it out tonight. You don't have to solve anything in the dark. Your only job right now is to rest. And God's job is to watch over you while you do. You shall not fear the terror by night. This promise wraps around you now, like a shield, like those feathers, like the walls of a fortress. Fear says you're vulnerable. God says you're protected. Fear says anything could happen. God says He's watching. Fear says the night is dangerous. God says, rest easy, child. And His voice is louder than fear's. His truth is stronger than anxiety's lies. His presence is more real than the shadows. So let your body relax even deeper now. Feel the tension leaving your forehead, your jaw loosening, your shoulders dropping further into the mattress. This is what it feels like to not fear. This is what it feels like to trust. This is your body believing what your heart knows. You shall not fear the terror by night. No terror. Not tonight. Not here. Not while you're hidden under His wings. The darkness outside can't touch the peace inside. The quiet of the house isn't loneliness. It's stillness for your soul. The night isn't something to endure. It's rest to receive. And you receive it now. Breath by slow breath. In the safety of the Most High. Under the shadow of the Almighty. Covered by feathers so soft. Shielded by a faithfulness that never wavers. You shall not fear. Let that promise be the last thing echoing in your mind. Not the worries. Not the what-ifs. Not the replaying of hard moments. Just this. You shall not fear the terror by night, because you are held, because you are hidden, because you are His. and He watches over you now. Through every hour of this night, until the morning light comes, fear has no grip on you here. Anxiety finds no foothold under these wings. The terror by night must pass you by, because the Almighty Himself stands guard. Rest now, dear one. Rest without fear. Rest in perfect safety. The night is not your enemy. It's simply the backdrop for God's faithful watch. And His faithfulness is the shield around you now. His faithfulness. That's what we'll rest in next. The truth that He is faithful. Always faithful. And that faithfulness becomes your shield and buckler. But for now, just breathe. And know that you don't have to fear. Not tonight. Not ever. You are safe. You are covered. You are at peace. You are so safe tonight. So completely, tenderly held. The terror by night has no authority here. Fear knocked, but it doesn't have a key. And now, something beautiful unfolds. Because you're not just protected by walls, not just hidden on the wings, not just covered by feathers. There's more. The psalm continues its gentle descent, deeper into safety, deeper into rest, deeper into the heart of God's care for you. Listen to these words. For He shall give His angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. Angels. He shall give His angels charge over you. Let that settle. Let it sink down through your tired mind, through your weary heart, into your very bones. God hasn't just built you a fortress. He hasn't just gathered you under wings. He hasn't just cast His shadow over your life. He has stationed guardians, watchers, keepers, angels, given charge over you. That word, charge. It's not a casual assignment, not a loose suggestion, not a general instruction. A charge is specific, intentional, focused. When a soldier is given charge over something, they guard it with their attention, their presence, their very life. And God has given His angels this kind of charge over you, not over the world in general, not over humanity as a concept, not over believers as a category, over you. You, lying there tonight, with your specific worries, your particular fears, your unique circumstances. Angels have been given charge over you. Think about what this means. Right now, in this very moment, as your body grows heavier against the bed, as your breathing deepens, as your thoughts begin to soften, you are being watched over. Not watched like a surveillance camera. Cold. Distant. Impersonal. Watched over. Like a mother watches her sleeping child. Like a shepherd watches his flock. Like a guardian watches their sacred trust. Angels are watching over you tonight. You might wonder what they look like. These watchers, these keepers. Scripture gives us glimpses. Sometimes they appear as ordinary travelers. Sometimes as warriors of blazing light. Sometimes they remain completely unseen. But always, they are present. And here's what matters for you tonight. You don't have to see them, to be guarded by them. You don't have to understand them, to be protected by them. You don't have to feel their presence, for their presence to be real. He shall give his angels charge over you. This is not based on your awareness, not dependent on your faith, not contingent on your feelings. This is a gift given by God, assigned to you. You are under angelic watch right now, tonight. Let your shoulders soften with this truth. You've been carrying so much vigilance, haven't you? That constant alertness, that low-grade watchfulness, that sense that someone needs to be paying attention, and that someone is you, watching for threats, anticipating problems, monitoring situations, keeping track of everything. That weight of being the one who watches. But tonight, you are not the watchman. You are the watched, the kept, the guarded, Angels have been given charge to keep you in all your ways. All your ways. Not some of your ways. Not the spiritual ways. Not the important ways. All of them. The way you sleep. The way you wake. The way you work. The way you rest. The way you laugh. The way you cry. The way you worry. The way you hope. All your ways. Covered. Guarded. Kept. By angels. Given charge. Over you. Imagine for a moment that your room is not as empty as it appears. That standing at the corners or hovering near the ceiling or positioned at the door, there are watchers. Not scary, not intimidating, not strange, just present, attentive, peaceful. Their whole purpose, their entire assignment is to guard you, to keep you, to watch over you. They don't get tired. They don't get distracted. They don't fall asleep. When your eyes close, theirs remain open. When your awareness fades, theirs stays sharp. When you drift into the deepest sleep, they keep watch. All through the night. You can release your vigilance now. You don't need to keep one ear open, one part of your mind on guard, one portion of your heart alert. The watching is being done on your behalf by those who never tire. He shall give his angels charge over you. Notice that God gives them. He assigns them. He dispatches them. This isn't angels choosing to help, though they surely delight in their work. This is the Father and his love for you, commanding protection, ordering guardianship, assigning watchers to his child. Because you mattered that much to him. Your safety, your peace, your rest, your well-being. These are not afterthoughts to God. They are important enough. But he sends angels to attend to them. You are worth angelic attention. Let that truth settle. You our worth. Angelic attention. Not because of what you've accomplished. Not because of how well you've performed. Not because of what you've earned. But because of who you belong to and what you mean to Him. The psalm continues. In their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. In their hands they shall bear you up. This is such tender imagery. Not just watching from a distance. Not just guarding the perimeter. Not just standing at attention nearby, but bearing you up. In their hands. Hands suggest closeness, intimacy, personal involvement. You can watch something from far away, but you can only hold something when you're near. And angels bear you up in their hands. Imagine being carried, not dragged, not pushed, not forced along. Carried, borne up, supported. When you stumble, there are hands. When you falter, there are hands. When you're too tired to take another step, there are hands. Lest you dash your foot against a stone. This is protection from the small things, the common dangers, the everyday hazards. A stone on the path. Nothing dramatic, but still capable of harm. And God cares enough about even these small dangers to assign angelic protection against them. He doesn't just protect you from the big things, the obvious threats, the clear and present dangers. He protects you from stones on the path, from the minor hurts, the small stumbles, the little trips and falls of daily life. That's how thorough His care is. That's how comprehensive His protection. That's how much He loves you. Angels, given charge over you, watching, guarding, keeping, bearing you up in their hands. As your body relaxes deeper now, as the bed holds you, and the pillow cradles your head, and the blankets cover you like feathers, know that there is another layer of protection, of presence, of care, unseen, but utterly real. angels watching over you throughout all of Scripture. Angels appear at crucial moments. They came to Abraham, to Daniel, to Mary, to Peter in prison. They announced. They protected. They delivered. They guided. The writer of Hebrews asks, are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? Ministering spirits. Sent to serve. Sent to serve you. Tonight, as you sleep, you are being served by beings older than the earth, more powerful than any earthly force, commissioned by God Himself to keep you in all your ways. You might feel alone sometimes. In the middle of the night, when the house is quiet, when everyone else is asleep, when darkness presses in. Loneliness can creep close, but you are never truly alone. He shall give His angels charge over you. They are there, in the quiet, in the dark, in the still watches of the night, keeping you, watching over you, present with you. Your room is not empty. Your night is not unguarded. Your sleep is not unwatched. Angels, assigned by God, are here. Let your eyelids grow heavier. There's nothing you need to watch. Nothing you need to guard. Nothing you need to keep your attention on. The watching is being done for you, over you, around you. You can release all vigilance now. Every bit of watchfulness you've been carrying, let it go. Every alertness, every guardedness, every sense of needing to stay aware. Release it. All. Because angels have been given charge to keep you in all your ways. They've got this watch. They've got this night. They've got you. In their hands they shall bear you up. Feel yourself being held. Not falling through space. Not sinking into void. Not drifting without support, but borne up, carried, held. There are hands beneath you, unseen but utterly real. And they will not let you fall. He shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall bear you up. Tonight, you are watched over. Tonight, you are kept. Tonight, you are guarded. Angels watching over you. As you drift, sigh deeper into rest. Watched, kept, guarded, borne up in unseen hands. Safe. So safe. Tonight. You've come so far tonight. Through the secret place. Sat under the shadow. Beneath the wings. Guarded by angels. And now, here, in this final resting place, the psalm whispers its closing promise. With long life I will satisfy you and show you my salvation. Let those words settle now. Not like a command, but like a gift being placed in your hands. With long life, I will satisfy you and show you my salvation. This is how God ends Psalm 91. Not with warnings, not with conditions, but with promise after promise after promise. Like a father tucking his child into bed, whispering the last words of the night, making sure you know you are loved. You are kept. You are satisfied. Breathe deeply now. Let your chest rise one more time. And as you exhale, let any remaining tension, any last thoughts, drift away like leaves on water. You don't have to hold on to anything tonight. God is holding you the way He's been holding you all along. Think about where you started tonight. You came to this place tired, perhaps anxious, perhaps heavy with the weight of your day. And God met you in the secret place. He covered you with His shadow. He gathered you under His wings, layer upon layer of protection, promise upon promise of peace. And now this, the crown of it all, Satisfaction. What a word. The world promises you satisfaction and rarely delivers. But God promises satisfaction. And He always keeps His word. I will satisfy you. Not I might. Not I hope to. Not if you earn it. I will satisfy you. Feel how your body has softened tonight. How your shoulders have dropped. How your jaw has unclenched. How your breathing has slowed. This is what happens when you rest under His wings. When you trust His promises. When you let Him be your refuge. Your body knows how to rest. When your soul feels safe, and you are safe tonight, under His wings, in His shadow, guarded by His angels, loved by your Father. The psalm speaks of long life. And that's not just about years. It's about fullness. It's about depth. It's about a life that matters. A life saturated with meaning. A life overflowing with purpose. A life satisfied. Not by what you've achieved, but by whose you are. You belong to Him, the one who made the stars, the one who numbers your days, the one who counts your hairs, the one who bottles your tears. That God says you are worth satisfying. Let that truth sink deep into your bones now, like warmth spreading through tired muscles, like peace settling into a restless heart, like sleep. Finally, gently, coming home. And I will show you my salvation. The final words of the psalm. The last whisper from your Father's heart. Salvation. Not just from danger. Not just from fear. But salvation into something. Salvation into life. Abundant and free. You've been shown so much tonight. The secret place where you're hidden. The shadow where you're cooled. The wings where you're warmed. The angels who guard your way. And this promise of satisfaction. This promise of salvation. It's all yours. Not because you earned it. Not because you're good enough. But because He loves you. completely, endlessly. He loves you. Your eyelids are heavy now, and that's good. That's right. That's exactly where you should be. On the edge of sleep, wrapped in promise, covered in peace. You showed up for yourself tonight. Do you realize that? You made a choice to slow down, to listen, to rest in God's word. That matters. You matter. And God sees you. He sees you choosing rest over worry, peace over panic, His presence over the noise. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting these words. Thank you for letting Psalm 91 wash over you tonight. Tomorrow, we go deeper. There's more peace waiting for you. More rest. More of His presence. More whispers from His heart. But for now, side. Let the words from tonight become the dreams of your sleep. Let the images, the secret place, say to Tao, the wings, follow you into the night. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. That's you. Dwelling. Abiding. Resting. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. Your refuge, your fortress, your God. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge. You're there now, covered, hidden, safe. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night. Fear has no key to your door, no authority over your heart, no power in your rest. For He shall give His angels charge over you. They're watching now, guarding your sleep, keeping you in all your ways. And this, with long life I will satisfy you and show you my salvation. Satisfaction, salvation, sleep. Breathe in and out. Nothing more to do. Nothing more to think. Just rest. The feathers are soft around you. The shadow is cool above you. The angels are watching over you. And God, your God, is smiling at you, His child, His beloved, satisfied, saved, sleeping under His wings. Rest now. Peace. Amen.